why are you running this time?
Well, I'm running for the state legislature because having been on the public health board and spent a lot of time with the legislature over the last several years, one thing I've come to realize is that they're not making progress. They're not getting things done. For example, they spent several years dealing with the Medicaid expansion to try to come up with an affordable health care program for those in low income, and they were unable to do it. Finally, Medicaid expansion comes along, and then they try to find all kinds of ways to not fund it and try to put that burden on local communities through property taxes. So I decided that it's time to step in there and see what I could do to help get things moving along in the legislature. I'm a get the job done kind of guy, but I want to get it done right. So when I looked at it, my history was a Republican till I run for county commissioner and decided that I couldn't support the way the Republican Party was being run in Idaho and signed up as a Democrat. And I consider myself to be a very conservative Democrat.
Very good. Next question. What issues and priorities do you hope to address if you are elected?
Well, the issues as I see them is that the basic citizen in Idaho is the cost of living. When you look at their healthcare cost, affordable housing, there's a multitude of our workforce out there that is just struggling to get by. And one of the things I did as a county commissioner is I found ways to reduce taxes. I actually eliminated a taxing district, saving the taxpayers $550,000 a year just in Teton County. And I think what we need in the legislature is folks that are looking ways to improve government by finding inefficiencies and unnecessary government, and then applying those savings to other things that are needed in the state, for example, education. So I'm a real advocate of local government, local control. I think that school boards, mayors, county commissioners, those folks knows what's going on in their communities, and we need less state oversight and strings attached to funding from the state to let the guys that know what's going on in their communities do what's best.
Very good. Fourth question. How will you manage community growth? That's a big story around here in the long run, well past COVID.
Well, community growth, that's a good one because every community, region, county in the state's a little bit different. You got heavy populated areas over in Boise, semi-heavily populated areas here in eastern Idaho. But again, I'll go back to let the local governments figure out what's needed and have the state turn loose those funds that are coming to the local governments without having a lot of strings attached, so that they have more flexibility in utilizing those funds where they make sense. Affordable housing is probably one of the biggest ones. We want to grow, but if you're going to grow and bring in new businesses, you got to have a place for the workers to live. And I know for right here in Teton County, that's a huge challenge. So I think for community growth, we need to basically focus on affordable housing, affordable health care, just to name a couple of the items. And part of doing that, and one of the reasons I'm running for state legislature is we got to get in there and work together and put all this politics aside, whether you're Republican, a Democrat, a conservative, liberal, whatever you want to title yourself, we need to set it aside and come up with good solutions to keep things moving forward.